In this part 2 of this 2-part series, Jessica and I continue the conversation, and in this one, we're doing a lot of talking about how to determine how to utilize gauge to help you figure out what size to knit. We get into the nitty-gritty. I do have a video on this, and I will link to it down below if you'd like to watch a separate video about this notion, but we get into it here right in the thick of it for a project we both plan on knitting together, and we talk about that project as well. It's the North Shore Beanie by Haley Smedley of Ozetta. We also get into what makes a sweater timeless and why we love tomato red so much, plus additional topics as well. It's a really great one. This is where we're going to cap it off for part 2 of this series. I had so much fun with this. I know a lot of you guys have really loved meeting Jessica. She's one of my absolute favorite people, and so it's an absolute joy to have her here on the channel. She's going to be a part of the Wool Needles Hands Maker meetups that are going to begin over on the Patreon in July. They are live virtual meetups where we all hang out and bring whatever it is that we're working on and chat and just have a really great time. That's going to start happening in July over on the Patreon. So if you guys would like to get involved with that, head over to the Patreon. It's a great way to support the channel. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of the conversation.
So what do I do since I pulled that? So I have the inside. This is what's coming from the inside. This is what was on the outside. So now what do I do with this so that it doesn't get all
tangled? So go ahead and wrap it back around. Just make sure you don't wrap you don't pin
the
down.
Donut hole?
Don't put it through the hole. Wrap it around the outside of the donut in the way that it kind of came off of the donut the best that you can.
Okay, I guess I do kind of see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
So that yarn, speaking of which, you have with plans of knitting the North Shore Beanie by Haley Smedley of Ozetta. And I will pop a picture of the North Shore Beanie up so people can see what it is that we're gonna make. We need, so that pattern, I'm looking at it over here, but that pattern has a DK version and a kind of a chunky version. And so I am pairing 2 sport weight yarns together. I'm using the Fiber for the People yarn and pairing it together, and I'm hoping that I am able to get gauge with it. But I'm probably going to have to knit a smaller hat than I typically do because I think that it's going to be the yarn's going to be a little fatter than what is required.
Yeah.
Now, when you go to knit that, just like what you're doing. So you just hold them together. Just keep the balls relatively close together.
Okay.
And then you will, do you want to cast it on? Do you want to cast on some stitches to kind of see what it's like? Yes.
I need to figure out. So I think I'm going to make a small, an adult small. Is that what we said? Or a medium?
So here's what I think you should do. Because this gives you gauge in a flat piece of fabric, she's not asking you to knit a swatch in the round or anything like that. She's just says your gauge. Like, are you looking at the pattern right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the pattern says gauge is 16 stitches and 26 rows is a 4x4 square, okay? In stockinette stitch worked flat on a size 8 needle. And then it says
I got
blocked.
a size 7 needle.
That's okay. So if you have a size 7, you may as well just use what you have, and then we'll figure out what your gauge looks like once you have it. Now, what we should do is cast on to a gauge swatch, not because you're gonna knit some giant piece. You don't even necessarily have to knit 4 inches. There might be people like, no, you gotta knit a whole thing and then you have to block it. Like, we're not gonna do that right now because I know you're probably not gonna do that habitually. So we're gonna do what it makes sense. What I have here is the beginning of my swatch. I cast it on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I cast it on 20 stitches. So that gives me the number of stitches she says to cast on plus 4. So just to give me a couple buffer stitches on each side. All right. So I would do the same. Just cast on 20 stitches.
Okay.
And then we're going to begin. You're going to just begin knitting the swatch.
I'm so interested to do this.
To see what that's like.
Wait, and then the tail should be at the top, like at the top, like in the back.
So when you're casting it on, your tail will be closest to you. It's a whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no.
Tell us no.
Where to go. Say we're
Oh,
only
say we're only
dreaming.
dreaming.
Whole new world.
It feels like this mohair could just tear so easily.
Given how light it is, it's incredibly strong. So you're not only reinforcing
Okay.
this project with a lovely, giving it a lovely halo, you're also giving it sheen from the
Yeah.
silk and just strength. And
Okay.
mohair too, even mohair by itself is really strong. They compare a mohair fiber in like a sock yarn to like having nylon, like a
Okay.
natural substitute for nylon. Yeah,
Oh,
isn't that cool?
okay. Yes, because I would imagine that it's so delicate.
Yeah, no, it's super strong. And that's called tensile strength. They're,
Oh, cool.
so look at you. Look at that gorgeous, those
I
gorgeous
know.
stitches.
I'm so excited to see how this turns out.
Yes. I'm excited too. I'm hoping that this yarn I'm using works out. I have a question then this is like more of like a fashion aesthetic, or just, it's not even necessarily about knitting, but if you had to like what is it in your mind that makes a sweater, like if you're going to choose sweaters to knit or wear, what is it in your mind that makes them feel timeless?
Oh, that's such a great question. I feel like there's so many timeless styles. Like I think a fisherman style sweater is so nice and will never go out of style.
Sure.
I do think that 90s roll neck, I know that it feels 90s.
But does
And
it
you
feel
think about
90s?
like those J. Crew catalogs?
But does it feel
No,
dated,
it doesn't.
or does it
I
feel
think,
like 90s
No.
because of J. Crew and their influence?
I think that's exactly why. Yeah, I think it looks timeless and it looks so wait, what were we? Oh yeah, we were actually looking at another sweater that we want to try to knit.
Yes.
That was kind of like a summer knit.
Yes.
And that was a similar style,
Mm-hmm.
but how it had that feeling like, oh, you're at the beach and it's cooling down and you're just gonna walk back, and throw the sweater on
At the beach house.
Yeah, so I think that has a very timeless feel. Yeah.
Right.
So I think I think the color too matters.
Mm-hmm. Something that is timeless can be made a little bit more like it's not going to be timeless because of maybe the color, or you have to like balance the texture of the piece or like the design elements that are in the fabric with the color. Like if something's really busy texturally, then maybe it needs to be more reserved in color. Like, do you subscribe to that notion?
Yeah. Oh, maybe, because then I think that like that sweater that you're working on now, or the 90s sweater, or that cardigan, that if you did a tomato red,
yes,
that's kind of bold, but it's so cute, and I think that could be timeless too.
But I think tomato red. Oh my gosh, I love tomato red. I feel like tomato red is
I know.
most.
I kind of maybe would want to make that sweater in that color.
Tomato red is like the most timeless of the reds, in my opinion.
You think?
Yes.
Oh.
Do you remember?
Interesting.
Do you remember Jenna from J. Crew? Was it Jenna?
Yes.
Jenna Lyons. I don't know if she was the one who said it. Maybe she was, but it was I was reading one of their catalogs that I had received, and she said, or maybe it was a website, and it was like, when in doubt, or if in doubt, go with an orangey red lip. Do you remember this?
Yeah. Yes, and then Cup of Joe, the blogger, she did a whole thing where they tested with, I think maybe with a makeup artist, where they tested that color on different people with varying skin tones, and it looked good on everyone. Yes.
I believe that. And I think it's not even just tomato red, it's just, or orangey. It's just anything that's in the orangey brown, maybe not brownish red, but like even a terracotta, depending on whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like I just feel like it looks good on everybody, and a great way to get color but not have it be something that is too or that limits what you can wear it with is to go with like an orangey red. Totally. Jenna Lyons really taught me a lot about that kind of thing. I wonder what she's doing these days.
I'm Jenna Lyons, your Betcha Style Therapist. Let's get started. Are you looking for a coat? Do you need a revenge dress? Or are you looking for a bag that can fit your hairspray, setting spray, and pepper spray? Any other spray one might need, bear spray. I don't know why there's so many sprays.
So I cast it on 20.
All right, let's see it.
That seems like not enough though, right?
Okay, so that's probably because, well, I don't know. Hold it up again. You're on a size 7 needle and your yarn weight is probably a little lighter than mine. I don't have a ruler on hand, but go ahead and start. You can start knitting on that, because even if it does look small, it's going to give you information that you can use. Bottom line. So what you ultimately need is fabric to measure to see how many stitches you get. And again, everybody has their own opinion, but as long as you can see how many stitches you're getting in at least 2 inches, because you're knitting a hat, it's things are forgiving here. How many stitches that you're getting in 2 inches will give us a good amount of information, and you have more than 2 inches there. So you're going to have, you're going to have some stuff. So what we need to see is how many stitches, because here's the thing. You can, if you know that the smallest size, did you say you're going to knit the small?
Well, I think so. Oh, she does have measurements. Will that correspond to a head circumference? Oh, do I need to measure my head first?
Do you know roughly your head circumference?
I don't remember. This feels like so.
You are
silly.
21 and a half.
Hold on, is it twisted? Oh no, 21 and a half?
Yeah, 21 and a half.
Okay, so 21 and a half. So that is, so a small is 21 inches. And then a 22 is a medium.
Oh.
22 inches, sorry, would be a medium.
Okay, interesting. I'm on the second page under finished circumference. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
yes,
wait,
okay.
Maybe I'm not on the, I'm sorry, I'm on the third page.
You're on the right page. I was looking at the finished circumference.
Yeah, okay.
The finished circumference is the actual circumference of the hat, not the head of the person who's going to be wearing the hat. So you would expect the finished circumference of the hat to be smaller than your head, because it has to stretch around your head if you want it to fit right. Because of the way you...
So I shouldn't go bigger than my head?
No. Otherwise, it'll be too big. You can go close to your head size, because I know you want yours to sit a little out more. So you would err on the side of larger, not larger than your head, but just larger than what you would typically knit. So because you have a 21 and a half inch noggin, it says the North Shore beanie has around 3 inches of negative ease. The way that she's wearing it is 3 inches smaller than her actual head size. That's what negative ease means. It's negative. Ease means allowance, size allowance relative to the person wearing it. So if it's positive ease, then that means you have more size allowance. That means it's going to be bigger. Negative ease is the opposite.
Okay.
So if you have a 21 and a half inch head, then you subtract 3 inches from that. And that is, if you're knitting it to the size that to show the same kind of fit that she has, you would subtract 3 inches. What's 21 and a half minus 3?
18 and a half. Yeah.
So you would shoot for the third size, the medium, because that's 19 inches.
Oh, so I should do the medium.
Yes,
okay.
But now,
so
none of that matters until you know how many stitches you're actually getting in that swatch. Because let's say that you...
Wait, I thought I wasn't going to do a swatch.
No, you're not doing like a full swatch. You're doing like a sample to see. Because here's the deal. Let me tell you. Let's say...
So am I just knitting this?
Yeah, just keep knitting. That's just... You're creating a little sample. I know.
Okay.
It's not the end.
I feel like you bamboozled me.
Maybe just a little bit. But if it makes you feel any better, that's what this is. Now, okay, let's say, for example, my swatch right now that I have, I am getting, well, geez Louise, let me go get a ruler.
So I should basically knit this swatch until I have 4 inches?
Well, yeah. Well, if you're knitting a swatch like you're supposed to, then you would have 4 inches along the needle, and you would knit for 4 inches in terms of like depth of fabric. Okay, you don't have to do that. It just means that it's going to give you enough to get an idea. But I can look at what I have here and get at least a general idea of where I'm at right now. So if I'm looking at my swatch, I'm getting currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is double exactly. So I'm getting 7 stitches per 2 inches, 3.5 stitches per inch. Now, the reason that's important is because if I go off of just her size suggestions and I shoot for something that is like the large would be probably what I would shoot for, which is a 20 inch. If I shoot for just the large, then that asks me to count, extra small, medium, that asks me to cast on 80 stitches. Okay. If I cast on 80 stitches and I'm getting 3.5 stitches per inch, then I divide 80 by 3.5. And that means that my actual hat, the actual physical hat, will be 22 inches, almost 23 inches in circumference.
Okay.
So that means that So that means that's far too big. If I didn't.
Oh, you think that's.
Oh, it is 100% too big. It would be. There would be. That means it still has about 2.5 to 3 inches to stretch out. It would be likely to fit.
Oh.
That would be for a person whose head circumference is 26 inches. And that's not me.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Got
so
it.
that means that I either need to use smaller needles, find a lighter weight yarn, but I need to get either fewer stitches or more stitches per inch, or I need to see if another size will accommodate what I'm already getting here. So it's okay. Just let this wash over you. Don't worry. So if I'm getting 3.5 stitches per inch, in order to get to my size, I'm going to see what would happen if I knit the small size. That means I'd be casting on 72 stitches. So I divide 72 by 3.5. That's 20.5 inches. That means the actual hat would measure 20.5 inches circumference. It's closer, but it's still probably too big. So that means, given what I'm doing with my swatch, the yarn I've chosen and the needle I've chosen, my best bet is to knit the extra small, which would give me a hat of 19.5 inches in circumference.
And you think that will still have that kind of chunky-ish look to it?
Yeah, because yes, partly because the yarn is a little chunky, so the fabric is going to be nice and chunky. But regardless of what size I'm knitting, because even though I'm knitting the smallest size, I'm still getting the hat size for my head. That's why the technical size listed in the pattern being the extra small is all. It doesn't matter. What matters is how many stitches per inch you are actually going to get when you knit the hat. That's going to tell you what size you have to knit.
Okay. So I can't tell at this point yet?
I mean,
like I wouldn't be able to
give yourself a little bit more time, because I mean, you could get a general idea. You don't ever want to check your gauge with the stitches on the actual wooden part of the needle. You want to pull them down onto the cable because it keeps them from being like artificially spread out across the needle. So if you knit a little bit more of what you have there, it'll give you a little bit more of an idea. So I'm realizing that I feel like I could afford to go down a needle size because the fabric is kind of open. You're doing a size 7. I really like.
Oh, and mine kind of looks a little bit open right now.
Well, that's okay. Can you show us what you have?
It is?
Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah. Let me just knit this one little stitch.
Oh yeah. Turn it over to the other side just so I can see. I mean, there's not a lot going on yet. So when you knit stockinette stitch for your swatch, you're going to knit one side and purl the other side. Have you done that?
Oh.
Have you been knitting both sides?
No, I've just been knitting across, yeah.
Okay, so when you do this, because you're going to want to knit in stockinette stitch, you're going to knit on the right side and purl on the wrong side to make your stockinette. But you can still keep going so whatever you're doing now, what side is facing you?
So these are, the purl side is right facing me right now.
Right, so you're going to...
I'm just knitting.
Okay, so knit across, continue knitting across, and then when you turn, purl the other way.
Okay.
to give you that stockinette fabric.
Okay.
So I think it's interesting because when we did our video before, we were talking about having one project going at a time. And here we are.
And I said, I could not. Yeah.
Here we are.
I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of girl.
You have sock dreams and 2 projects going.
I know. I'm talking about 8 other projects.
Yeah. Have you ever heard, speaking
cardigan?
Yeah, I know, the cardigan that would knit up really quickly in a bulky yarn, or a super bulky for that matter.
Yeah.
I know. But speaking of socks, I was going to ask you, did you know that there is such a thing as self-striping or self-patterning yarn?
I did know that. I've seen it in action, and it's so cool. I was blown away, honestly.
It really is. It's really cool. I have a whole basket of it, in fact. Let me just bring my basket. Look at this.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait, are those socks right there that you...
Yeah, these were Brandon's... I made these... They're Brandon's slipper socks. I need to darn the heel.
Oh, cool.
You see that?
Didn't you... Oh, did you make those?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Are they golden night colors?
Yes, they are supposed to be. You see this?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's 1989 is the colorway. This is self-striping, and it's based on Taylor Swift's 1989 album. I didn't dye them. I just bought these, but these are by Tiny Human Knits.
Oh.
She dyes out of New Brunswick, and she does self-striping yarn, and she's amazing.
Yeah.
But this is that Patton's Croy sock yarn.
Oh, I love those colors.
No, whoa, what is that? A leaf.
So you could make a pair with one skein, right?
You can make one, well, it depends on the length of the sock. So if you're making tall socks, or even just like a traditional like mid-calf, you'll probably want 2, one for each leg. But if you're making them shorter, you could probably get away with that. Look at this one.
Okay.
And they stripe in those little colors.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing?
Yes. I love that one in your hand right now, that like peachish.
This one? Oh, this.
Oh, no. Well, that's cute too, but that one,
This is mid-century stripes.
Oh, that would be fun to try.
Yes, I think these are cool because when you're learning how to make socks and you just need to keep it pretty simple, you can do something like this and it gives you the color changes, which makes it interesting.
Yeah.
These are really, maybe I need to cast this on and because these make short socks. But I think they're so pretty. Look we have something we can use. It's beautiful. Look at those stitches.
Wow, really?
Oh, yes. And I really think you were mentioning that it looks open, and I think it looks really good. I don't think it looks too open.
Okay.
I think it looks great. Are you using Lucca needles? Lucca?
Oh, I am.
Yeah, driftwood. I love those.
When I bought them at this yarn shop in town, and she asked me, like, I forget, she asked me if like I'm a beginner, or I forget how she asked it, and I was like, I don't know, like I've made a sweater before, and she goes, no, I'm just asking because like beginners prefer wooden needles. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I do prefer wooden needles, so yeah.
I will tell you, this is an interesting topic as well, and we'll get to your swatch in just a second. Somebody asks you, are you a beginner? What qualifies a person as obviously a person who's just starting something is a beginner. But to say like, to have, are you a beginner being the first question to ask to determine if a person is going to prefer wooden or metal needles is an interesting choice, because I feel like what they're doing is they're excluding a whole group of very experienced intermediate knitters that prefer wooden needles. And it's more just like, how about we ask a better question?
Yeah, I did think it was like, and then, I mean, I don't know. I felt kind of like when I answered it, then she was kind of like, no, like this is what I meant. Like almost like, she wasn't snarky by any stretch, but I almost felt like, yeah, the way that she responded, like, no, I'm just asking because blah, blah, blah. It almost like her response almost implied like, no, you're not understanding the question. Like, it was just, I felt kind of annoyed. And then it reminded me, we're not going to use this hopefully in the video, but remember last time you asked me, you're like, you'll find out. Remember you asked me about how I felt going into the yarn store? So I felt like, kind of did feel a little bit like that when I went in.
These are the kinds of questions that people will ask when you go into a yarn shop, any kind of specialty store, whether it's a yarn shop or a quilting shop or a specialty bookstore. It doesn't matter. Like, you ask a question, people sometimes don't understand that that you are maybe inadvertently or intentionally like making this person feel as if they have to now, that they're being weighed and measured, you know? Yeah, and I think that's really unfortunate. And this is part of the reason why a lot of people struggle going into yarn stores, is because they feel like it's, if they go in and have a question, that they're going to be judged for their question, or they're going to be asked further questions that make them feel uncomfortable. When you go into a situation like that and you're purchasing needles like the ones that you have, that it doesn't matter what level of knitter you are. The question is, do you like the yarn to slip across the needle, or do you like it to stick a little bit? How do you feel? Whatever. Like, that's crummy that was asked, because it just does. It's like, I don't know. What do you want me to like tell you? And then when she just stopped you,
kind of felt a little bit like silly, I guess. But I don't think I should feel silly. I was like, no. I don't know. What kind of question is that? Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you wish that we would sometimes just have the gumption to just be like, you asked me the wrong question, person.
Like, why do you want to know that? Like that, like.
Yeah, what does that have to do with
I actually
anything?
read a long time ago that when someone asks you a question that either makes you uncomfortable or you just don't really want to answer, that you should say, why do you want to know? Because then that puts like the onus on them to wonder, like, why am I asking this personal question or this ridiculous question or whatever it is?
It happens all the time, and it's infuriating, and especially in a situation like that. Because had you said to that person, of course, with all due respect, you say this to the person, like, what does that matter? I mean, what does that matter sounds kind of rude, but like, why does that matter? And then she would have to then tell you, like, well, no, it's because beginners are more fumbly and they're less confident, and maybe having something where it's not super slippery might be better. But still, regardless, like, allow, like, I don't know, specify, because those kinds of questions are, I don't know, interesting. That's interesting. All right. So do you have a ruler handy?
I have my little guy.
Perfect. Oh yeah, that's right. So what you want to do, this just for anybody watching we are not telling you that this is how you gauge swatch. So what you're going to do is, with the fabric that you've created, you want it on the cable of the needle so that the needle isn't kind of pulling the stitches apart.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Some will tell you by that's good. Some will tell you by slipping them onto the needle, you're kind of replicating, blocking the swatch, which is fine. We're just going to keep it on the cable. And what you want to do is you want to measure across the fabric. Think of the V shapes that the knit stitches are creating. You want to see how many of those stitches, how many of those V's fit in 2 inches of your ruler or your measuring tape.
This is actually harder than you would think.
Oh, I know how hard it is. Girl,
I know.
I know what you're doing. You've got fabric curling up all around that ruler.
Yes, exactly.
Giving you all kinds of grief. This is why people would make a 4x4 inch swatch, just to play devil's advocate here.
8 stitches.
8 stitches in 2 inches.
2 inches.
If you have 8 stitches, it's easy math. I don't need this. Everybody can just leave me alone. All right, if you have 8 stitches in 2 inches, 4 stitches in an inch. So I'm looking here. You are shooting for 8. Yeah, you want the, you're thinking that you're going to knit what size? What size were you thinking you were going to knit? For the small. If you go for the small on the worsted bulky version, that means you're going to be casting on extra small, 72 stitches.
Okay.
If we're casting on 72 stitches and you're getting 4 stitches per inch, we're going to do 72 divided by 4. That means casting on 72 stitches will give you an 18-inch circumference hat. Because what I did here, just so you know, is I took 72 is the number of stitches you'd be casting on. Well, we know that 4 of those stitches is 1 inch. So if we divide 72 to see how many groups of 4 fit into 72, we get 18, which means that when you cast on your hat and then you start knitting that hat, the circumference of the hat will be 18 inches. Based on her ease calculations, which is -3 inches, 18 minus 3 is, or excuse me, 18 plus 3 is 21. That means that that would be slightly small because your head is 21.5 inches. That does not mean, and a lot of people will tell you, if you don't get gauge, what you should do is go up a needle size or use a heavier yarn, or vice versa, depending on what your gauge is sitting at. Well, right now your gauge swatch is telling us that you need to make a larger size, or that, you know, you need to err on the side of larger. So we use the swatch you have and the yarn you have and the needles you have, and we pick the size to make the right one for you. So what I would do, let's say we did the 76 stitch hat, which is the medium. If we were to do that, that one would give you 19-inch circumference, which would be which would fit a 22-inch head based on her ease. And you're trying to err on the side of larger, right? You want it to almost fit you.
I should do the medium then?
If you did the 80 stitch, which is the large, small, extra small, small, medium, large, 80 stitches would give you a 20-inch hat. Yes, I would do the medium with what you have.
So the medium, where is this? Okay, medium is cast on 76.
Yes, and that would give you a hat that is 2.5 inches of positive ease, as opposed to the 3 inches of, 2.5 inches of negative ease, as opposed to the 3 inches of negative ease that she calls for. So you're getting a 1/2 inch more spaciousness than, does that make sense?
So I bought a 32-inch cable needle, but she's saying to use 16 inches. So is that going to be really annoying?
Do you have size 7 DPNs?
Oh, you know what? I think I do.
You can do 5 DPNs. You can have it distributed across 4 DPNs, and then you use the 5th one to knit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could do that. But 32 inches won't be good for that. But now we know, based on that little swatch of fabric there, that you can go into what size you're going to be knitting confidently for the most part. And it's going to be, good for your head. So that would be the medium. Let's do a quick rapid fire. So I'm going to ask you, and then I'll give you my answer as well. Favorite fiber?
Merino wool.
Okay, mine is blue face luster wool.
I don't know what that is. I'm gonna look it up.
All right, here we go. Favorite needle material?
Wood.
They're good. Mine is steel, stainless steel.
Really?
Yeah. These Chiaogu needles, you see the red cord? Those are, in my opinion, the best because of the cable. Knit flat or in the round? In the round. Me too. Same. Worst knitting advice you've received?
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So it's not annoying, but something I didn't want to hear is I want to make a pair of gloves, and 3 different people were like, do not try to make gloves, Jessica. You need to wait. You need to try some mittens first and then graduate to gloves, which I'm sure they're all 100% right, but I was like, I want to make gloves, so I didn't want to hear it. But so not necessarily bad advice, it's not bad advice. It's not unreasonable advice, but I will tell you though, if you want to make gloves bad enough, you make those gloves. Okay, I will.
Go ahead, Yulbrunner. Go get your palace.
I don't like when people tell me that I should knit a complete swatch and block it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I know it's great advice, but it's not the advice for me, if I had to give an answer. Most overrated knitting technique. I know that might be
Okay, I don't know a lot of techniques yet.
Of the ones you've done.
I was gonna say the thing that you were like, wrap the yarn around like all these fingers and then like hold it like this and just knit. So I don't know how to do it yet. One day I'm gonna learn, and I'm gonna be like, I can't believe I wasted all this time.
Fair, I will accept it. What you're referring to is when I was showing you how to flick knit. And so anybody, like, I think that's hilarious. I will own that. Absolutely. Most overrated knitting technique is brioche.
Oh,
so
brioche.
It's beautiful. I've
heard of this.
Yes, I believe it's beautiful, but I don't need it in my life enough to do it. It just feels very slow and tedious. It is beautiful and it makes a really beautiful fabric, and I think it is highly overrated, in my opinion.
It looks very complicated.
It's not even complicated. It's just a lot going on. It's actually quite rhythmic and enjoyable to an extent, but to get anywhere, it just takes a long time because every row that you knit has to be done twice.
It's a whole thing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Most underrated knitting technique.
I'm going to say, I don't even know if people would agree with me, but I guess from my perspective, because I haven't been in this world long, lifelines.
Interesting. Underrated. Like
underrated. Yes. Like I think that's something that like people I never heard about, and then you told me about it, and I was like, that sounds complicated. But then I watched a video, and I was like, it's not complicated whatsoever, and it is a lifeline. It's a lifesaver.
Absolutely.
When you need it. Yeah.
I think that's a great answer. In fact, I'm tempted to copy you, but I'll give you a different one. Mine is the Italian bind off and cast on, or the tubular cast on. It creates a really polished edge to knit fabric. I don't know if you can see that, but it gives it a nice little rounded edge, and I think it can make all the difference. Okay, dream sweater. Give me 3 things your dream sweater would have.
Okay, a bubble sleeve. A ribbed is that's yeah, right.
Yeah,
a ribbed cuffs and bottom.
Yeah.
And a soft, non-itchy, cozy yarn.
That sounds beautiful. That's great. That's a good answer. That sweater is out there. I'm going to let you answer these last 2 alone. One pattern everyone should knit. And it doesn't have to be a specific pattern, but what do you think one piece of like knitwear do you think everyone should knit?
Oh, I guess a hat, like a knit pearl, like hat that's like a knit pearl pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Just because then
like
it's like good
thingy.
practice to know how to knit in pearl, and it's just a timeless piece that everyone can wear.
Yeah, I agree.
If I'm going to answer this one, I think it's a pair of socks, because socks teach you so much about construction in a really small scale, because you're doing all kinds of shaping, but it's a small piece. So I would say socks.
That's it.
Okay.
That's our quick fire.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We
This
did
was
it.
very fun.
We need to do this more often. I know people want to do this more often.
Oh,
so.
I would love to. It's really fun.
Okay, good. Well, tell everybody, give those girls a hug and tell everybody I said hi. Okay. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys for hanging out with Jessica and me. This was fantastic. We had such a great time doing this. Let us know down in the comments if you would like to see more, or what questions you might have for us to dive into if we do another one like this again. It really means so much. And don't forget to check out the Patreon for lots of additional content, a great video about troubleshooting a ball winder you may actually own. It's by Knit Picks, just so you know. We might be able to help you make the most out of that, but also a really great place to go if you would like to get involved in the Wool Needles Hands virtual maker meetups starting in July. All right, thank you guys. Happy making, happy knitting, happy whatever it is that you're doing. Take care, be well, and I will see you soon. Bye.